Okay, so welcome back here. In this video, we're going to be showing you what not to do. Okay, if you get this, a lot of the homeowners who are inexperienced painters or drywall contractors will just try to mud right on top of this, on top of all this loose stuff right here. So we're going to do that here, okay? So I have some USG all-purpose joint compound here, and I'm just gonna grab some of this right here, transfer it to the middle here. Okay, and start in the middle, skim it that way, and skim it that way. Have too much on here, so we'll get rid of it. Okay, we'll clean up the knives here. And as you can already see, now I'm going to skim this tight here. You can already see how it's starting to bubble outward here. So I'll taper off the top. I'm applying the pressure at the top, come around here to the bottom here. Put the mud in the middle of the blade here, start in the middle, go out, come back that way there, okay, and that's perfectly skimmed off. There isn't an edge, so all the mud is just in the middle, and we'll see how this dries out, okay. So again, this is an example of what not to do. This is an example of what not to do, especially when you don't do your prep work in trying to get rid of all the papers here, but just for the sake of the video of what not to do, we're going to do it so you guys can see what happens when you in fact just mud over an area of torn, damaged drywall paper. Okay, so I just put the mud on top of this area right here, and I skim tight, and you can see how the water in the joint compound gets right in, and it further causes it to lift up more. Okay, you can see how the edges look. And you can see it's starting to lift here, up here. So that's the effect you get if you don't score the outside with the utility knife first. You can see it there. The water is making that start to bubble out. Okay, so it's very important to first go around with your utility knife to score the perimeter back to a sound surface so that it doesn't bubble up like that. Okay, so back to the area of what not to do. And again, we have mudded right over the torn drywall paper, and you can see it's lifted up or bubbled up more in the corner here, really getting close here. You can still, when you tap it, it's loose, whereas here it's not, but this is all loose here. And this is loose here, and this is loose here. So there's air that's behind there. Okay, so welcome back here. And from the video footage that you just saw here, you can see what clearly happens if you just try to mud right on top of this torn loose paper. So it's very important. You have to do the prep work. If you don't do the prep work, and the prep work is cut this area out and remove all the loose paper, it's going to look like that. Okay, and if you try to mud over this a few more times, it's still going to look awful. And then when you go to prime and paint it, you're still going to see all those areas right here. Okay. So I think it's a clear example or a good example of what not to do here. So if you do this, then what you have to do is fix it, okay? So to fix it, again, we're going to use our utility knife here. And this is a Stanley utility knife. Okay, and what I like about it is it has a rubber piece right up here, and you can put your thumb there or your index finger there to give you greater control of the blade here. So again, we're going to score this to the outside. Okay, now I'll come up here and score it around that there. And finish off in the middle there. Okay, now I'm going to take my 1.5-inch blade here and try to work into it there. Okay, so I have it like that there. And now I use my fingers to peel this away here. And I'm just applying a little bit of pressure here, because we want to try to get this to come off in one big piece there. Okay, so that is what it looks like there. It almost looks like a shark's jaw. Okay, so we have the part in the middle now. Okay, so I'll come in from the outside and work it under. Okay, so that gets it like that there. Now I'll use my fingers here. Okay, start over here. Come down into it. See, this area was a problem here because you can see the chunk that came off right there. Okay, now this area in the middle here is pretty tight, but this area right here is loose, so I'll cut that out there. Okay, this area looks like it could be a problem. Okay, now this is loose here, so I'll take my fingers and go up with it there, coming further there. This is loose here. Take my blade here, cut across it here. Come up here, cut away this here, come to the inside. Get rid of this. Okay, now with my fingers here, I'll just try to peel back anything that is loose. This stuff in there. So lip that's peeling, so I'll just shave this way so it's tighter. Come to the corners, really go and make sure you peel away any of this loose, torn brown paper. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Roman RX335 here. First of all, I just want to use a dust brush just to get rid of any of the dust that was in the cracks there. And when I did that, I could see that this is loose right here. Okay, put that there, dip my brush in the Roman, transfer it to the middle there, work it in the perimeter of the cracks there, and it started to pull up there, so I'll go up and down with it. In the middle there, I'm sure to work it in. There's probably this gap, there's like a 1/2-inch gap right in the middle here, so I'll just work that around there. Clean up this stuff right here, and now that's fixed. We'll let that dry out, and then we'll be back to mud. Okay, we just put the Roman RX35 on this area right here, and you can really see how deep it goes in there. Okay, so we'll let this dry out, and we'll be back to mud it.